Hey, hello, and welcome to this episode of Client Spotlight. I'm Srinivas Peesapati, CEO of Covalense Digital. Today, I'm excited and honored to have Manjula Sriram, Chief Information Officer, and Naveen Gadipe, Director BSS OSS from Iridium Communications, a global leader in reliable satellite communications. Iridium, a remarkable journey to transform its operations digitally, engaging partners, and delivering critical satellite services worldwide. I'm excited. Iridium has chosen Csmart platform to power their digital backbone as part of this transformation journey. Thank you very much, Manjula and Naveen, for honoring us and keeping that confidence on our platform. So, you have anything to say about it?
Yeah, and I really appreciate you having us here. Thank you. And we are at a very exciting juncture at Iridium where we are taking a next step to foray into a more cohesive and a exciting technology advancement journey. So we're really excited to be presenting that and talking to you about it. So thank you.
Thank you. How about you, Naveen?
Thanks for having us, Srini. We've been partnering with you from a long time. Covalence Digital is pretty much part of my OSS and BSS transformation, and I'm excited and looking forward for the digital transformation journey as well.
So let's get to the Q&A sessions. Basically, I think I just wanted to get some insight from you about this whole journey that you're planning as part of this digital transformation. So as you know, Manjula, I think satellite communications is a mission critical for so many industries. So what triggered for you to really make the decision of really going through this transformation journey?
Yeah, and I think we'll touch this part through the whole Q&A session repeatedly, but Iridium started its OSS BSS journey almost 12 years ago. And it's a very organic growth when you're in such an industry where things are happening fast and furious. The growth happens very organically. And we are at a juncture, just a natural juncture, where we can take a stock of where we are and how can we improve and consolidate. So that's been the thing. We want to grow. Iridium, as you probably are familiar, is on a journey to be a $1 billion company by 2030. And as the CIO for Iridium, it's my responsibility to make sure we successfully get there. And monetization through the BRM platform and OSS BSS is one such way of doing it, to be able to track our revenue and all of that. So that's the reason why we are where we are. As organically as we grow, things are disparate. So now it's time to stitch it all together.
Following up with another question on this same topic, when you think about this next 3 to 5 years of journey, right? What digital success look like at Iridium for you?
Oh, I appreciate that question. It's almost like we tossed you that. But for any organization to be successful, it means how successful is your partner, how successful is your customer, right? So for me, a digital success is we partner with a new VAM or customer. We bring them on board. They are able to get online and very quickly go through this whole certification journey, and by the end of it, they've got a system that's functional. So to me, that's the functional aspect of it. On the other side, when we are bringing in our employees and all, because your Csmart tool is both internal as well as external. When we are bringing in new employees, we want to make it easier for them to work at Iridium. So our mantra is making it easier for people to work at Iridium and work with Iridium.
Oh, fantastic. Actually, that again follows up with another question to you, Manjula, because I think you have chosen C-Smart for two key main areas. I think this is what I'm really thinking about. One is like, the enhanced customer experience channel to build an enhanced customer experience channel, and also maintaining a good or a seamless partner ecosystem. I think these are the two reasons I think probably you have chosen to go with C-Smart. And obviously, I think in the satellite industry, partnerships are very, very key. And then again, are everything, right? And then how do you see C-Smart enabling to create such an ecosystem for you in the journey?
Yeah, so I think Csmart, when you think about BRM, right? Not a whole lot of tools interact with the BRM, and Csmart, when we forayed into having those conversations with you, that was the first attractive feature about it. And I am also a very strong believer that it's easier for us to change a process than to customize suite of code. So Csmart having some of the standardizations as well as a very seamless user experience aspect, and I think you guys have invested significantly on the user experience journeys that people are having, which attracted me to be able to do this. And the time to market is very critical when you're in a digital transformation. If I wait and things don't happen for another 5 years, then I'm not gaining the leverage or the advantage. So Csmart, the nimbleness that your platform brings was something that attracted me to it.
So essentially, I think what you are saying, if I can recap, so the partner ecosystems must be built on a low code, no code platform, which is like an open API, right? I think gateway mechanism, such that I think the integrations made it easy, and then also partner onboarding becomes much more easier and seamless, right? Thank you so much. Yeah. So Naveen, now I'm just trying to get some insight from you as well. So it's like let's get practical. So please walk me through the partner onboarding. Looks like how it looks like today versus I think what you're envisioning after putting C-Smart back in the channel. So how it is actually going to change. So if you can just throw some light on that.
Just to give a little bit more context to it, right? Today, that most of our partners are wholesale partners. So onboarding or service enablement happens for end customers. So we don't directly enable service to the end customers, but we provide tools and applications to our partners who uses those to enable the service to our partners. So that's how it works today, and it's going to work the same way tomorrow as well. But the challenges we have is like we have evolved and grown organically over the last decade, and thankfully we were able to scale the systems well enough, and it's working as expected for the partners. But we want to leverage on the latest technologies. Open API gateway is the new thing that's happening. Our partners are integrated with multiple providers like Iridium. So creating our technology, giving them better tools will help our partners integrate seamlessly with Iridium as well as with other partners as well. So that's the thing we're looking at Csmart and iPaaS gateway. It's going to bring to the table, and I'm excited.
We too are excited actually to have being part of this whole journey because we are looking forward to really put that best system out there for the idiom. So thank you very much for that answer. And what is that one improvement you are most excited? I think once this whole system goes live. I think you mostly talked about it, but I wanted to just re-emphasize that point actually. So maybe you can just tell us.
Yeah, so one thing I'm most excited about is that billing systems are huge systems. Any upgrades you do to the system is going to take several hours. And although a billing or provisioning system is not mission critical, but service enablement plays a big factor, especially we being wholesale. A 2 hours, 4 hours downtime is not a good thing for our partners. So as part of this transformation journey, we are planning to have zero provisioning downtime even during billing upgrades. So architecturally, we are implementing it that way, and I'm pretty sure our partners will be excited with this change.
Oh, fantastic. I think that's going to be very, very complex to manage. But I think, yeah, so with this, the transformation journey that is what you're envisioning to really achieve that big goal. So just to follow up to that question, so you're also using this integration platform, right, that API gateway, to connect like multiple heterogeneous systems like billing and then provisioning and then the other core applications. So in satellite communications, generally, the system reliability is going to be a non-negotiable, I think, aspect of it, right? So how you are actually trying to approach integrating with this new transformation journey, integrating with all these applications, I think, in a seamless manner. So do you have a plan or approach for that already thought through?
Yeah, so our service is a reliable service. So your back office applications or systems, if they're not reliable, then it's not going to paint a good picture to your partners. So while integrating all these systems, it comes with a baggage, right? If you integrate too many systems together, and you kind of create a dependency on each other. So that's where your architecture plays a key role while trying to integrate to read the data from multiple systems. But when you are trying to provision or perform any activity on the system, it should act independent. It should be seamless. If the billing system is down, it should not stop my provisioning to activate any device. So partners should not see the effect of that. Although the systems are integrated together, but they can respond independently as well. So the architecture, we're making sure that if a payload is processed independently by a system, that can be replayed to our other system so that there is no dependency, but they're all connected together. So that's the key of our architecture.
That's a great idea, because I think essentially you're creating like a high available system that is reliable all the time, and then again works, I think, all the time, right? I think with no zero or no downtime. Yeah, great. So I'll just probably ask Manjula, I think, another important question, I think, for you, Manjula. So I'd like to hear from you that from the business perspective, right? What does having all these systems consolidated mean for Iridium's agility and growth?
So, I think we started the foray into automation with your pricing automation a few years back. And, we're all familiar, and it used to take significant amount of time, which is not necessarily for the partners, but when we are introducing new services and all, it took significant amount of time to get the pricing into the system. And now we've cut that time down sub 1 week, from 6 weeks to 1 week. So that's a significant progress. So for me, again, what it means to keep us as company on the digital, context ahead of the schedule and ahead of the time, is to be able to provide our partners with this seamless environment. So, if you take Iridium, Iridium's not just one of the companies, right? We partner with other companies that our partners are also selling services for. So when we are doing that, we want to make it very easy for our partners to integrate with us and be able to provide the services in a much more integrated fashion. So from the time of signing the customers to the time to the revenue for the customer as well as Iridium, the shorter it is, the better it is. And I think from a business perspective, that is what my business teams are looking for. Not just that, giving from a Csmart perspective, we've been able to reimagine something, a single sign-on or a single platform where everybody can come to. So as the customers come to a single environment, now they're able to look at all the systems that they have accessibility to in one location, rather than going into 5 different URLs. It's going to come to one, and it saves time for our customers. We meet the customer where they are, and I think that's the most important piece that we can do. And then on top of that, being in a cloud environment gives us ability to spin up additional environments as quickly as we need to, should there be threshold issues.
I think if I can say, is this like an efficient B2B to exchange or a B2B to X exchange you're actually trying to build, I think, as part of this transformational journey?
It's that and many more things, right? It's ease of doing business, right, for our partners, B2B ability for our partners to come to Iridium and within days be able to implement things, ability for our partners to be able to test systems, providing them an environment where they can test and validate things before they're doing. Our partners to have backwards compatibility again, right, because we are making changes every time. And today the partners, certain partners can be ready very quickly, certain partners not. So going into this digital transformation gives them ability to work at their pace, and also from a cost perspective, savings for them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Naveen, I think we talk about a little bit about the challenges and also the change management, right? I think how I'll just go with you first and then maybe, ask Manjula later. So every transformation has a moment of truth, right? So I mean the technical and operational roadblocks, right? So so what's keeping you up at night, right? And how you're tackling these challenges? I know, especially I think it's like mission critical, and then again, no downtime. Expectations are very high.
Yeah, that's a good question, Srini. So Iridium is no different from any other company, right? We have lots of applications in our ecosystem. So, in this transformation journey, you look at the opportunity to consolidate the systems, you look at the opportunity to replace the systems, but you cannot replace every system if it's not supporting your integration, right? There are some systems which may be legacy, but they do their job pretty decently, right? So we are using iPaaS platform to bridge that gap. Right? If a system does not have a native way of integrating with our systems, so we go implement iPaaS in the middle of that system and build that integration capability without actually touching that legacy system. So that way, right, we are integrating even the legacy systems that cannot be easily replaceable. The solutions could have been, just replace the system, get the latest and the greatest, but it's doing its job. You don't want to spend millions of dollars, just replacing all the systems just to make it easy for your integration. So that's the key. So we are using iPaaS for that purpose, and of course, wherever native integration is possible, we're just integrating the systems without the iPaaS as well.
Okay. No, that's a great idea actually. So I think how you are trying to normalize things, I think without touching the legacy applications, right? And then again, you build that iPaaS, I think gateway, API not layer, no, before that, so that I think it doesn't no legacy applications to be touched actually. So here, I think without touching them, so that is really nice. So Manjula, I think from the change management side, so in satellite communications, right, it requires precision and absolute, I think, reliability, and as well as the mission critical nature that what we need to bring in. So how are you ensuring your teams are really ready and excited for this kind of a change that is going to come on their way?
It's a very multi-pronged approach, right? So if you break the satellite industry, you've got the actual satellites that are working. So that's your mission, extreme mission critical part of it, and making sure that the ground stations and the satellites are communicating and constantly in touch. So that is like no fail, 100%. On the billing side, we need to be ready that anything that we do in the back office does not impact how the communications are happening. As you're familiar, we work with National Geographic, we work with, a lot of different organizations to bring in information about Iridium, mission critical pieces, right? When you look in the maritime, if there is a storm or a tornado or any of those types of communications become critical. In those scenarios, I can't have a billing system break that communication. We want to allow for that communication to go through without any challenges. So that's the key aspect of why it's so mission critical. And change management, from my perspective, is important in two ways. One is making sure you've got champions in the industry. So communicating with your partners early, communicating with them often, taking their feedback as you're building the systems, and we've done it, right? We've done some user focus groups. We are working with our lines of business to be able to help us prioritize things. So that's a very critical path. Technology, we from a just like you do for us, we for our internal Iridium, we are just the enablers of people being able to do the business. So ensuring that they can do seamless business is the key aspect of the change management. So for that, you have to educate the people. So business has to be educated in what's coming and how they can make it seamless for the partners. My internal teams have to be trained to be able to upskill and be able to support this system as we go into production. But with us going with a little bit of a hybrid approach, as Naveen was telling earlier, we've been able to bridge that a little bit more, right? We can take some new learnings, because most of the technologists are excited to learn new things, as well as continue their expertise in the existing systems like the BRM. BRM is a very strong system that's age old. And then by putting iPaaS and Csmart around it, we've been able to make that integration very smooth. So that's what helps from a change management perspective.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that is very insightful. Okay, so I think just continuing to this, and then again, I want to just give audience a bit of, I think, context about Iridium satellite also, as I think the kind of critical or the mission critical nature, and also the fail-safe aspects that what you mentioned made me to think, and then tell like Iridium, especially the Iridium satellite, is like very very gives that reliable satellite communications for the critical nature communications like natural calamities, and then maritime, and then hard to reach places. I think many of you might not know the satellite communications are really the communications means to really reach to those hard destinations or the places, unlike the traditional telco services. Coming back to the future outlook, I think from the change management side. So, looking ahead, so where do you see the most significant opportunities? I think expand what you're building, right? And is that AI or more automation? And what's next on your roadmap?
Like Manjula just pointed out, right? We evolved as an organization. There were so many things that could have been easily done manually, right? So until today, that's not a problem, doing things manually. But as you grow, we don't want to add more people to do things manually. So automation is one of the important things. With pricing automation, we have seen significant improvement in our efficiency, so that our folks can focus more on something really valuable for them and for the company rather than doing things manually. So automation is our number one priority. As part of this transformation journey, where we integrate systems, we are looking at every opportunity where things are done manually today and see how we can automate that. So once you automate all of this, once you integrate systems, you can easily build a data lake. That's when we need to talk about AI as well. How this data can help my internal customers first, and then how this can help my external customers as well. So we are taking a phased approach. I don't want to just jump into everything. So that's, we are working on it diligently. So we are planning to implement AI, but not immediately. We first want to automate things, make it easy, and then let's get into AI. So that's our approach.
That makes perfect sense also, because I think you have all the data. I think you want to add anything?
There are certain pieces of AI that we can bring in much sooner, not necessarily the agentic AI aspects, but more things like bot, right? AI bots and those kind of things to actually help his team, or some of the pieces where we say we like the process, we don't want to change the process. Then his team can write AI bots and be able to automate the process that way and schedule. So, my team is extremely smart. My team and extended team is who I mean, and they're constantly thinking of how to improve things and how to improve processes, and that's the key piece. So AI can help us.
Definitely, yes. I think we can't avoid AI anyway. I think AI is everywhere. But of course, I think what is the right time to really bring in AI? I think that is what exactly you've narrated. Like, let's do that fundamentals are the foundation first. I think bring the data, in one place. And then from there, I think you can really explode it using AI, right? So I think that is the whole idea. That's a great, I think, approach to be followed. So Manjula, if I can just ask you one question. So if you are having this conversation from here to 18 months from now, right? So what success story will you tell, and then what outcomes are the most focused you are looking for?
So, I strongly believe in a crawl, walk, run type of a process. We've been, as we grew organically, we've been crawling. So we are, I want to be able to crawl, walk, and run in the next 18 months, be able to take baby steps, deliberately to implement, your Csmart and iPaaS in a much more architectural, organized fashion, be able to walk it and be able to, understand how we are implementing, make sure the change management aspects are there. So that's your walking phase. And running is now, you're adding features and functionalities and AI and data warehousing methods and tools onto that, and then overarching the governance around it. And I think that's the success story I want to be able to tell, that in 18 months we're running, not just crawl, walk.
I liked it actually. I think just crawl, walk, and then run. Right. I think that's a good approach to be followed. I think definitely. I think we are with you on this, and then again we should be able to really run along with you. So this is what I think to meet your expectation. Definitely, we'll try to do that. So I think moving forward from there, Naveen, I just wanted to ask, because so you have gained a tremendous experience in this industry, and then again going through that experiential journey so far. What is that message that you want to give to the other industries, and then again other IT leaders actually? So I think would like to hear from you.
Yeah, sure. So you know that in OSS BSS work for almost 20 years now. I've seen many transformation journeys. Often, like one thing I realize now is you need to have your end state in mind. Like where do you want to be after 2 years or 3 years, whatever. What's your goal? That end state will determine your architecture. You know, So that's where this low code, no code platform will help you. If your architecture is easy to adapt to the changes, right? You're not stopping everything for 3 years and just doing the transformation, right? You are having your business running day to day, and that may impact your, the transformation journey as well. So how quickly you can adapt to that is the key. If you don't do that, then you will end up, doing your job half done after 2 3 years. That's what I've seen in the past. So based on my experience, that helps me a lot. Like, okay, where things might fall apart, where things may fail. So considering all of that, so we are having a beautiful architecture built right now, and of course, your team is also helping me with that. And I'm pretty confident that in 18 months to 24 months, we will start seeing the reality of these systems.
Thank you so much. So Manjula, if I can just ask you more or less, I think similar question, right? So especially at the CXO level, so and for your peers in the satellite communications or in the overall communications industry, what would you really tell them? I think about taking this leap, right? I think how you wanted to.
I appreciate this question. I oftentimes think about it as well as to what would I tell the future CIO. I think the reality is find a partner who is not a task taker. Find a strategic partner who's going to work with you, who's actually going to call a spade a spade. That's really critical because it's someone who can show the mirror and say, hey, you're going back the same path that you were told you didn't want to go. And that's the really critical piece, to be able to have that honest conversations with your partners, with your team as well. The team who can tell you, hey, you're thinking, your vision doesn't fit what we want to accomplish. And I think that is very critical. And hire people who are smarter than you, right? And that's the really important thing. Whether it's your partner, whether it's your team, they should be able to tell you, hey, this is how we should do it. Vision is yours as a CIO or a CXO, but how it gets executed, you should let the experts come up with that. And always make sure you're partnering with the business.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So thank you very much for that insightful information. Just to recap, what I think Manjula and Naveen has just mentioned about the future or the advice to the community or the communications industries leaders. Um, so Naveen says that the end state is what is important to keep in view for us to really start or achieve or putting that kind of a strategic goals to achieve for companies. And Manjula says having a right partner and a good team of people is the main crux for the CXO's, I think, vision execution. Thank you so much. So back to the viewers, stay tuned for more stories where technology, strategy, and impact converge. Thank you all for joining us in this Client Spotlight episode.